Yo, what is going on, guys? This is PH Community Game V2, and we're going to start a little upload spree here. I'm going to be trying to upload pretty consistently, maybe even go for an everyday upload, and see how we do while our contest is going on. If you haven't checked out our contest, very easy. You could win pretty much a free Laval chain. Very simple. So go check that out. It's on our channel. It's the main video. So today I'm bringing you, I guess I'm going to call this deck Bitch of the Format. It's pretty much an anti-meta deck. I've been playing around with it on Dueling Network. It's really, really fun. People get pretty pissed off, and there's nothing better than a Salty Dragon Roller player or, some other tryhard Tier 1 deck. So, I guess let's get started and talk about the deck and some choices. So, start off the deck with 3 Fossil Dyna. This pretty much just says, F you to most plays. You can also set it, flip it, and get everything face up on the field that was special summoned. So that's that. Only downfall of him is he is not a Summoner Monk target, unfortunately, because it conflicts with his ability. 3 Banisher the Radiance. Banisher, just obviously everything sent to the graveyard's banished instead. This messes up a lot of decks. People trying to pull plays, discarding card out of their hand to special summon shit. Send a card to the graveyard, just all sorts of stuff. It pretty much disrupts abilities out of the hand. Some can get around it, but Banisher is big. Double Xiaogan. Xiaogan pretty much clearing the field for special summoning. This is a really funny combo with Seal of Orichalcos. I'll talk about that a little later. If you have 2 monsters on the field, they can't target Xiaogan because he is the lower. Yeah. 2 Summoner Monk. You have a lot of unnecessary spells. Once you get your spell locked down, really you got all these extra field spell cards, Kaiser's Coliseums. Get rid of them. Get, a breaker to the field, get a TK to the field, get something to the field that can help you and possibly exceed if you don't have Seal of Orichalcos. So, 2 Breaker. Breaker, this format is really good. Normal summon at 1900. They have to respond to if they have back row, it's getting popped. If they don't respond to this card. So it's a really good normal summon. Makes them burn their back row. 2 Tour Guide. Tour Guide opens up Fortune Tune plays. Fortune Tune is definitely one of the funniest succeeds. Just sits there. You can't target it. And pretty much when it's sent to the graveyard, the Tour Guides go back into the deck, and the Fortune Tune goes back to the extra deck. So, really good card. The 1 of Morphing Jar. After they start ramming your Fossil Dynas face down, they stop ramming your Fossil Dyna, and they don't attack the Morphing Jar that you flip next turn and just, mess them up with. Grand Mall. Grand Mall's funny. Gets rid of problems. It's at 1 for a reason. You gotta play it. Thunder King. It's another Summoner Monk target. This also is a good first turn play. Also, it kind of hurts your Pot of Duality plays, but you can play around it. It's at 1, so, it's really not that big of a deal. Now, you got to play 3 Seal of Orichalcos. You need to see this card. It's got multiple abilities. I don't know if you know what they do. I could just briefly give you a description. All monsters you control gain 500 attack. Okay, that's the first thing. A 2100 Banisher on your field with Kaiser Coliseum is big. A 1700 Fossil Dyna, believe it or not, with Kaiser Coliseum is big. That's a problem for some decks. They really struggle with that. Yeah. The problem with Orichalcos is it's once per duel. Orichalcos can save itself if it gets MST'd once. It can protect itself. But if you put another field spell out there, it can't save itself. Also, it has that ability, like I was saying earlier, that you can't special summon out of the graveyard. If you play it and you have a special summon monster, it destroys it. With Fortune Tune, it could save itself. Just like Maestro can. But the other ability it has is the fact that if you have 2 face-up monsters, let's say you have a Breaker and a Xiaogan, they can't attack the lower monster. So they have to get through the Breaker, who is, a 2100 if it doesn't have its counter, or 2400 with its counter. So, then you're going to play 3 Kaiser Coliseum. Kaiser Coliseum pretty much says that if there's 1 or more monsters on your side of the field, your opponent cannot have more than that. If you have no monsters, it doesn't work. But just having that 1-to-1 advantage, they can't spam special summon the field. If you have a face-up, Breaker, Fossil Dyna, it kind of almost works as like a mini emptiness. They can't just swarm the field unless they get rid of the monster. So it's really good at 3. There's a card later that's going to pretty much lock it down, and I'll talk about that. 3 Duality. Duality gets you your pieces that you need to lock down the field. Get, whatever, Xiaogan, get the monsters. It's a very low monster count, but you see your monsters. You're able to get to them. 3 lance. If you're sitting behind a banisher, a 2100 banisher with a set lance, 29. There's really nothing that can get over that. Even a blaster, if they somehow get to the field, I mean, you just lance it and banisher, breaker, or whatever, they win. So that's that. Okay, here's the lockdown card. Prohibition. Dual 1 if you Prohibition MST. I don't run MST in here. Prohibition MST. That your Kaiser's good. Your field spell is good unless you have another field spell. It's really devastating, and this is like really my tech of the format. I love this card. 3 seems to be too much, just for the fact that I'm playing 3 Kaiser, 3 Silverward Calcos. Those are already once you have your field set up. Those are kind of dead cards in the hand. I don't want to have a Prohibition in my hand too. So it's at 2. I can get it with Duality if need be. Hopefully I can get it. If you don't get it, well, that's that. Dual 2, I sometimes side these out for 2 MSTs. Disrupts the back row. People don't see the turn 1 or dual 1 Prohibition coming. Book of Moon, Dark Hole, staples. For the trap lineup, 2 Fiendish Chain. If they get rid of your whatever on the field, your card on the field, and you got Kaiser, just chain their shit. I mean, they can't do anything. They can't attack. They can't really do very much. Very disruptive. And then you go back with your play and throw a monster on the field so they can't do anything. Okay, God forbid they get rid of a Xiaogan or a face-up Fossil Dyna. You're sitting on the emptiness. They still can't special summon, guys. It's really funny. Nobody sees that one coming either. Then your one-ofs, Bottomless, Torrential, Solemn, and Compulse. Just your 4 one-ofs. And that's the deck. It's 40 cards. Here's a little extra deck I prepared. Really, these are the cards you're going to be using. You can't exceed very much. I mean, it's possible. If you have Seal, you're not going to be exceeding at all. But Black Ship of Corn, this gets rid of problems. Lavier can sometimes get shit that's banished back to the field if need be. Fortune Tune's a main go-to for sure. Lavier is kind of random. Fortune Tune should definitely your main go-to. Even sent mains, but I'm liking Fortune Tune better. Laval Chain gets you what you need, throws on top of your deck. I like that as a 4. Maestroke's kind of just in here, but the other one I use a lot is Gagaga Cowboy. So your 4s really are Laval Chain, Cowboy, Black Ship. If I had a Diamond Dire Wolf, I'd put that in here too for stuff Black Ship can't get rid of. And, Cowboy, if need be, they have a back row. Just, it's a lot easier just to pop the card with Diamond Dire. But those are the 4s I usually go to. Maestroke's just kind of in here because there's a shit ton of room. And in here, it's really just Fortune Tune. This thing is kind of just, I've never made it. But really, I can get away with 4 Exceeds, maybe 5 in this deck. But it is anti-meta. It disrupts a lot of decks, creates a lot of problems. I actually played a Dragon Ruler deck that Skill Drained me. Skill Drain fucks this deck, by the way. Really messes it up. And I still beat the guy with Skill Drain. He Skill Drained me like turn 3 in Duel 2. I set it out the Prohibitions for MSTs. I didn't draw a single MST. I couldn't get rid of the thing. I had so much back row. I just drew all my traps. Every time they tried to do something, like these 4 cards came in handy. Their blaster got chained. Just the most random shit they could think of. Like these 8 traps just, took care of business really. And the Book of Moon put in work. I was able to pretty much keep my Fossil Dyna alive and just keep poking them for 17, even though it was skill drained. It was really funny. The guy was very mad. So, the deck's a lot of fun. Play with it on Dueling Network. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Leave a comment, comment, subscribe. Go check out the contests if you haven't already, and enter into that. And take care, guys.